Greetings and salutations, comrades. Hope this finds you well. So I came across this pretty interesting clip that Daniel Dumbro was sharing on Twitter. Definitely give him a follow. Also has an excellent YouTube channel as well. That was regarding China, and this guest Fox News had on, Clay Travis, was just spreading more lies and propaganda about China. And Daniel Dumbro sent, Clay Travis a tweet like, do you have any sources, any evidence for these wild, outrageous claims that you're making about China? And then so Clay linked to an article that he had written, but unfortunately, the article was just him making up more lies and bullshit without actually citing any type of evidence at all. So again, not super surprising again that Fox News would have somebody on like this, just this, right-wing nut job, hates China, thinks China, is the problem in the world, this boogeyman, while, and this in particular had to do with China supposedly using slave labor to produce different products in their country. Again, he didn't cite or provide any type of evidence in the interview or this article that he linked to after supposedly supporting his claim, when in fact the United States is very well known for using slave labor in its prison system, which I will show later, these different companies within the United States that use prison labor, which again is a form of fucking slavery, right? So let's check out this clip, and then we'll just show how Clay Travis is just completely full of shit. Here we go. So this is the clip here. Daniel Jumbo, heard your call to action at Clay Travis. This must be debated and discussed. I'll help. Could you provide reference when China said they'd continue using slave labor and sneaker companies bragged about using it? Those would be powerful tools to start with. Read, but we'll see the quote-unquote evidence that he provides in a minute.
Now, it's worth pointing out, I just want to keep hammering this because I think it's one of the great untold stories in sports right now. There are many NBA players currently on the court with...
Again, that's Enes Kanter, professional basketball player, currently at the Boston Celtics, also very big hater of China, all about free Tibet right now. So apparently he wants a return to serfdom in Tibet, where people literally had their eyes gouged out, their skin peeled off their bodies, if they weren't being good serfs, basically. And he wants a return to that feudal serfdom system. I mean, like, these fucking people are not serious actors. Cantor, frankly, might be paid like being paid by the CIA, like the Dalai Lama was and his cadres were during the 60s and 70s, right?
Chinese sneaker deals. When there was a conflict about Uyghur cotton, that is the Muslim minority in Xinjiang province, guys, China came out and said, not only are we going to continue with these slave labor camps, the Chinese sneaker companies came out and bragged that their shoes were made with Chinese slave.
Again, not citing any type of evidence or support that China was claiming to continuing to use cotton that was produced by slave labor or bragging about it. Again, just pulling shit out of his fucking ass.
Slave labor to pick cotton, and NBA players are endorsing and wearing those sneakers on the court in NBA games right now. The fact that most in the media are ignoring this is a form of rank hypocrisy, and it needs to be discussed, debated, and it needs to change, quite frankly.
Really?
I mean, if that was actually happening, then yes, completely debate and discuss that, but you don't cite any type of evidence. So again, Daniel Jumbo, kudos to him for calling out this fucking bullshit. Update, Clay provided a source, which is great, but unfortunately it's himself. It includes the same bombshell quote, Chinese companies admitting to using Muslim slave labor. Hopefully a source himself 7 months ago has an original source, fingers crossed. Let's see. Thanks, Clay. You provided your provided sources. You hoping to get that. Let's see, make sure it's on the right one. Yes. Okay. Hoping to get the original source on the slave labor admission. Nike never claimed slave labor, and Skechers' investigations contradicted it. The quote you found of companies admitting slave labor is huge. Can you help share it with us? Oh, shit. Okay, so that's from his article. Start NBA players cash checks. And then we'll. So again, it's just more propaganda, more lies, more bullshit being leveled against China to completely misdirect, this anger for the problems that the United States is currently facing due to capitalism, white supremacy, U.S. imperialism, etc. Maybe to distract from the fact that over 700,000+ people have died in the United States from COVID-19, while in China, last time I looked, it was less than 5,000, maybe to distract from the fact that there is actual slave labor going on in the United States. So I'll show you Clay's article so you can see for yourself that he, in fact, was not using any type of sources, but again, just pulling shit out of his ridiculous ass at this point. Here we go. Star NBA players cash checks from Chinese sneaker companies proudly using slave labor. Clay Travis 7 months ago. Again, this is the same article that he provided to Daniel Drumble as supposed evidence. Let's see. Have pledged that they will continue proudly to use cotton produced from Muslim slave labor. Again, look, no type of evidence, no hyperlink, no APA citation. Let me repeat this in response to Nike's statement. They won't make their products with cotton produced from Muslim slave labor. 2 Chinese sneaker companies have proudly asserted they'll continue to use that cotton produced by Muslim slave labor. This is astounding. It's even more astounding. The NBA has a bevy of players with shoe deals from either Lining or Anta. Yes, you heard that right. NBA players, the same players who've been announcing regulating American democratic institutions for this. I mean, and look at how he's framing stuff like around, like Black Lives Matter issues, right? Ridiculing American democratic institutions for the perceived lack of woke. No, they actually just don't want, people of color, particularly Black people, getting murdered by the police for this fact that they're, Black. Has nothing to do with a perceived lack of wokeness, you fucking absolute fucking ghoul. So the only source that he has in this article is, you see the hyperlink there. So he's capable of, putting sources in, has to do with Klay Thompson, professional basketball player for the Golden State Warriors, has a shoe deal. Okay. So every single umpire had declined comment when asked why. Look, okay. No evidence whatsoever. This dude is a complete hack. Outkick founder, host, and author. Presently banned from appearing both CNN and ESPN because too honest for both of them. I don't know if it's because you're too honest or because you just make up these outrageous lies and you aren't able to provide any type of sources for the bullshit claims you're making, right, Clay? You're just a complete fucking hack. So if I was at CNN or MSNBC, I'd probably ban you from those too. Or if I did have you on, I would ridicule you and call you out for the bullshit scam artist that you are, that you're parodying, this anti-China propaganda, these lies without any type of evidence. Kind of problematic. Let's see. Here we go. 12 major corporations benefiting from the prison industrial complex. Again, this is in the United States. United States, world's biggest prison population, Clay. Did you not know that? Inmates make about 90 cents to $4 a day. Again, slavery was never abolished in the United States. Look at the 13th Amendment, Clay. Look at all the fucked up shit happening in your beloved America right now, you absolute fucking hack. McDonald's using inmates to produce frozen food. Inmates process beef for patties. They also process bread, milk, and chicken products. Wendy's has been identified as relying on prison labor to reduce its cost of operations. Inmates also processed beef for patties. Walmart, the company uses inmates for manufacturing purposes. The company hires inmates to clean products of UPC barcodes so that products can be resold. Boycott all these companies for sure. Starbucks uses inmates to cut costs as well. Starbucks subcontractor Signature Packing Solutions hired Washington State prisoners, live in Washington State, to package holiday coffee. Sprint, inmates provide telecommunication service. Inmates are used in call centers. Verizon, inmates provide telecommunications services. Victoria's Secret. South Carolina, female inmates are used to sew products. Fidelity Investments. Investment firms funds the American legislature. ALEC, yes. JCPenney and Kmart both sell jeans made by inmates in Tennessee prisons. Airlines in Avis. American Airlines and the car rental company Avis use inmates to take reservations. And again, this is just a small list. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There's many more corporations in the United States that use, prison slave labor to make their products. You don't see Clay Travis up in arms about that, but he's making these wild, outrageous claims that, these Chinese sneaker companies are proudly saying that they use, cotton that's produced from Muslim slave labor, and they will continue to do that with no type of evidence whatsoever. A complete and utter fucking hack. No wonder he was banned by ESPN and CNN, because he's just a outright liar. And when asked to provide, sources for that outrageous, that wild claim he was making, he cited his own article that had no sources to back up his lies, his slander, his anti-China propaganda. And that's all it is, anti-China propaganda, trying to stir up more anti-China rhetoric, more xenophobia, and service of a fucking new Cold War with China or something. I don't know what his fucking purpose is behind it, but it's egregious. It's disgusting. It needs to be called out. And kudos for Daniel Dumbrell for doing just that. Like the video if you like the damn video. Subscribe for more content. All part of the people. Quick shout out to the 2 Uber comrades supporting my channel and this content. Patreon, my partner in Independent Left News. Definitely check out Independent Left News. They're a great resource.